morning. It's Rev Trevor, friends. We're in chapter 18. And this morning we're going to look at a very, very important subject. Verse 21 says, Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times. Jesus has just spoken about church discipline, about the issue of sin in the church. And so Peter takes the chance to talk to Jesus about this issue of forgiveness. Peter asked the Lord, how many times should a person forgive his brother or sister for doing wrong? But before Jesus can answer, Peter gives an answer. And Peter comes up with a figure before Jesus even can say something. Peter says, Lord, up to 7 times. And Peter might have thought, Jesus is going to say, wow, Peter, that is wonderful that you've used this number 7, this perfect, wonderful number. See, the Pharisees taught that you forgave someone 3 times. You know, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and you are out. You didn't have to have nothing to do with them after this. So Peter not only doubles the number, but adds 1 to that. So that's the context we need to understand. So Peter's not saying only 3 times. He says up to 7 times, Lord. If my brother does the 7th time, then it's only strike 7, you are out. The interesting thing here is Peter says, how many times must I forgive my brother or sister? He doesn't speak or mention him needing forgiveness. And we're going to find later on how badly Peter needs forgiveness. Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. And so Jesus turns to Peter and he says, Peter, you've missed the mark completely. Not 7, 77 times, or other versions say 70 times 7. And so the point here that Jesus is making is, if you are counting how many times somebody's done wrong to you, then you've missed the mark, because we should be willing to forgive someone countless times when they come and seek forgiveness. If someone truly comes and asks forgiveness, the Lord is saying we should be able to forgive them more than once, not 7 times. We shouldn't count it, because then we're not truly forgiving with the right heart. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. As he began the settlement, a man who owed him 1,000 bags of gold was brought to him. Since he was not able to pay, the master ordered that his wife and his children and all that he should had be sold and repay the debt. So Jesus, to really make Peter and them understand, he tells them about this parable. And this parable only appears in Matthew. And we find here that the king doesn't order it as if. And you want to know what's happening in his kingdom. And he finds out that someone has done him in. Somebody obviously of importance. This person owes him 10,000 talents of gold, or 10,000 bags of gold. And so the amount that this man has stolen from this king, is more than he could earn in multiple lifetimes. And so the king orders that him, his children, and his wife are, put into jail until the debt can be paid. The problem is, this debt never can be paid. There's no way that this man could ever pay what he owes the Lord. At this, the servant fell on his knees and said, be patient with me, he begged, and I will pay back everything. This man then falls on his knees and he prostrates himself before this king and says, please have mercy on me. I will pay you back everything. Yet it will never be possible. But if someone is so desperate, because it's more than, like I said, he'll earn in not 1 lifetime, but many lifetimes. The debt is just too great. But he's desperate, and he says, I will do anything to be able to pay you back. The servant's master took pity on him, cancelled the debt, and let him go. You see, the master knows this. The master knows that this man cannot do it. And he sees the condition of the man, and he takes pity on him, and he cancels this man's debt. Friends, tomorrow we're going to continue with this, but this morning I just want you to realize, and me to realize, that no matter what you've done, some of us have lived deeply into sin, some not so deep into sin, but your sin, no matter if it's big or small, was such a major debt that you could not pay it even in 10 or 20 or 1,000,000 lifetimes. The debt was too great. That's why the King, Jesus Christ, had to come and die for us. He's the only one that could cancel our debt. Today, my question to you is, how thankful are you for the price that Jesus has paid? This is Rev Trev. God bless you.